Fan, Stan, Ban.
Alrighty, so today we are definitely doing the album that will forever define COVID times for me. It will forever define summer 2020, fall 2020. Honestly, it'll probably define my 2021. Also, it was the moment that I fell in love with Taylor Swift. It is also the reason why I was in the 0.5% of Spotify streams for Taylor Swift in general, because that album, I don't think I stopped streaming it once. It is, to me, an absolute masterpiece.
She also saved 10 years of One Direction with this.
She did.
She was the hero we needed that night.
True.
The unsung hero that we never expected.
Exactly.
So, do we want to start? Because I know I personally will say I have very strong feelings about this album. I have very strong feelings about the song that I would leave, and I have very strong feelings about the songs that I think are some of her best written songs freaking ever. Okay. So, do we want to start with our fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. So my fan, which I very much went back and forth between my fan and my stan because they're both my favorites, but one just, it holds a little more piece of my heart. So I'm going to say my fan is Illicit Affairs.
Ooh. Okay.
That bridge, I will scream, sing that. I don't know why. It hit me. The second I heard it, it was like, Taylor Swift is back in my heart and my soul. Part was like, don't call me kid, don't call me baby. Look at this idiotic fool that you made me. Oh, I feel that so strongly. It's so good. And her lyric choices within the song, it just to me showcases that she thinks poetically in a way that I never will, and I appreciate it.
I highly agree with your fan. That's not mine, but that's up there for me. That's a song. Why is this album so good? I don't know how to accurately pick. But mine was.
She said, wait. I just need to give one more shout out because she says a dwindling mercurial high. I mean, what? It's beautiful.
I know.
It's beautiful.
I simply like it for the word mercurial because mercurial is my favorite word.
It's a
masterpiece.
Define mercurial to me.
Well, okay, Taylor so Swift. It comes
That's
from the
god I define
Mercury.
Taylor freaking Swift.
Hermes, but the Roman version Mercury. And so it's you're very, not selfish,
okay,
but you're very into emotions and you're very decisive and you do a lot, but they're clearly guided by your emotions. You're kind of in a way materialistic, but in an interesting way. It's a weird combination of an emotional person, but also it's a very infantile person.
Okay.
Someone who acts like a kid.
Okay.
Don't call me kid.
Oh, don't call me kid.
Don't. And the part where it's you know damn well, for you I would ruin myself. Oh, it's so good, guys. It is so good.
Mood swings. You have mood swings too. That's a very moody person.
So of course I would pick that song as my fan. It just fits. Personality trait, moody. I'll take that one.
That was a good pick.
Lex, what's yours?
My fan was Last Great American Dynasty.
I know.
I feel that was just the first time I listened to the album, I was this is it. It's just so fun, and the fact it's just this whole story of being this woman's insane and now it's me. How fun. I'm good for you. I want to be crazy. I want to dye a dog. Oh, actually I did dye a dog pink once. That's a whole nother story for another
Was this
time.
before or after this song?
No, this was in middle school. Riley and I dyed her toy poodle pink.
Oh.
With Kool-Aid. But
her
name was Chloe, rip Chloe. But it was fun. And I'm that energy, I just want to be chaotic. And maybe it's because I'm locked up right now, you know? We can't really do anything. I just want to be great.
I think you can still be chaotic locked up. I certainly am.
Thank you.
I think I'm more chaotic locked up.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so this is really hard. I just went with where I was like, I didn't think about it. I don't feel like I even have explanations for them. I was just like, if I have to apply this logic to three songs, what are they going to be? My fan is August.
I was expecting that to be your stand.
No, I just had to like, I can't even like, I just did it. This August speaks to me on a deep level. I love it, but I think it's the fan because it's fun, and my stand is going to be depressing, and I feel like it's got to be that way for me. The stand's the one that's like powerful. The fan's the one that's like all consuming. For me, August is a dwindling mercurial high. That's my relationship with the song.
Okay.
And so that's why it's the fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like now is a great time to recognize this love triangle that happens within the entire album, but within Betty, August, and Cardigan. And it was something on the album that I initially was kind of like, this is a gimmick, not into it. And I have grown to love it so much. I love how people now tell stories about relationships by saying, this is the person who is Betty and this is James. I've grown to love that whole love triangle. I don't know. How do you guys feel about
it? I think that was one of the most genius parts of the album.
Well, I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with it because I liked it, but like it became such a thing that it was like, it was letting the non-Swifties in on the secret that she like does shit on purpose. That's how I felt. Like it became such like a thing that people who have no business acting like they analyze Taylor Swift's lyrics, like we're all of a sudden like, have you heard about the love triangle? And I'm like, have you heard about the capitalized letters in the liner notes 3 albums ago?
You're like, you're late.
You're late. But I did enjoy it because I think there's levels to it that are brilliant. I just was like, some people are allowed to talk about it and some people aren't.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah, gatekeeping. I am gatekeeping the Taylor Swift community.
Oh my god.
I just feel like there was that one night us three analyzed this album.
Yeah.
Like we did. We had a wine night and listened and broke down every single song.
Every song. And I feel like because we did that, it made me like one just love this album so much more, but I also just feel like I connected more to the story because I was like, I get it. I can talk with my friends about it. Like, oh.
Maybe what I didn't like is that she also was like telling us to look out for it. And I didn't like that because she was she was opening the gate to the community. Gotcha. And I was like, I don't know. Too many people were in on it, I think.
Okay.
I get that.
Was there one? There was one in Evermore, right? Like there was songs that tied together.
Like kind of, she said there wasn't like and this is, I don't know. She said she always says it in those YouTube premiere chats. She was like, it's not the same, but yeah, like there's things that touch on the same themes and stuff.
Okay. Like I just feel like
Dorothea went to high school with them or something. I don't know.
Oh, 'tis the damn season.
Oh yes, tis the damn season in Dorothea.
It's just like, but like from that album to this one, like Evermore did not do a good enough job of like in a sense like hinting in that they're related. So I think that's why I look at this album and I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's so apparent if you're looking for it.
And my issue though that I felt, because the songs are related, it also opens the doors more for you to directly compare them. So like to me, Cardigan was even less good than I thought it was initially, because in comparison to August, I'm like, if this is telling the same story, I felt like she developed one character a lot more than she developed the other. So it almost opened the door for you to like directly compare and criticize like which perspectives you felt like she dove into more.
I feel that. Okay, but yes. My fan is August. I will be naming my firstborn son August.
Hey, who came up with that idea? Me.
I think it was a mutual decision.
Okay. Yeah, I think the other backstory that we haven't mentioned is that Sam and I went and lived in the legitimate woods in the middle of nowhere And I feel like that also really opened the door to this album as well,
Sure.
right around the time
We went to the lakes.
We did. We
Not
literally
the real
went to
lakes,
the lake.
but we went to a lake.
Like the week that song was like officially out on like streaming sites. So, you know.
It's so cute.
It was relevant to the time. But my Stan, I felt like I went the same way that Sam did, where I was like, I felt like there were certain little tidbits where I felt so seen. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like this song is the one where I was like, Taylor, for the first time in a very long time, see myself in you. I felt like we went on different paths. I felt like the 1989 Taylor that I related to and loved so much left the chat and I didn't get her as much. And this song, guys, I just feel like at least once a week, I want to just send this song to someone and be like, this is how I'm feeling. And this is me trying.
I knew it. I knew that was going to be.
It's so deep. It's so good. I just feel like it really is it just is a song where I'm like, I feel like that's me to a degree. And I like the fact that at first it's really like analyzing herself. And like, I feel like she's very self-aware and figuring things out. And then it goes to that bridge where then she's looking at an old relationship. I'm just like, oh, it's so good. It's the song that I feel like if I could find any song that I like personally feel like, gosh, you're following me right now, like it's that. It's so good.
That one just like makes me sad and like I guess a good way. But like I'm just always like, oof. You know, like if I had to pick one word for that song, it's oof.
I know, and my thing is, I'm banning it.
You're banning it? No way.
No, you are not.
Okay, now
leave. Of course, song is like the most me song I've ever heard. Like I just feel it sounds like leave.
My stan is Mirrorball.
Wait. Why are you banning? Wait. Why are you banning it?
Because hold on, it's a part A and B like statement of my stan is Mirrorball, and I don't know. I don't need both of them. To me, Mirrorball and This Is Me Trying are like the flips, the two sides of the same coin, where they're very different points coming across, but they're coming from a similar place. And I don't need both of them. I was quick to almost ban with Epiphany.
Mirrorball hits me like I don't feel like Mirrorball reflects how I'm feeling, and This Is Me Trying reflects how I'm feeling. So I would say they exist in completely different realms.
To you.
See, okay, I agree with Jason though, because I think if I had to ban like either This Is Me Trying or Mirrorball, I would do Mirrorball. Like I feel like This Is Me Trying hits more personal, whereas Mirrorball, I'm just like, I don't know.
I feel like Mirrorball is like
trying so hard to be seen, which
yeah.
So yeah, I guess
I feel like This Is Me Trying is like her internal cry, whereas like Mirrorball is like
that's what I'm saying. I think they're two sides of the same coin. But you have an
external and an internal side. Why
I know I don't need both of them.
External or internal?
I don't need both of them.
He's like, I just like
to be a multifaceted person. So
well, we gotta ban one of them. I love Mirrorball, and I think Mirrorball is like the most poetic thing she's ever written. This Is Me Trying is very confessional, and that's why it's beautiful and painful. So I put those two together in my head. They go together because they're both the like. Well, in my head, those two and 7 go together as a trilogy of like thinking about yourself and how you have evolved in the world. And I don't know. This Is Me I'm like, I don't know. It can go. Except the only reason it could be saved is I think it's hard to be at a party when you feel like an open wound. It's like one of the most beautiful lines she's ever written. But I don't know. It was like a twofold thing of where I like every song on this album. My stan is for sure Mirrorball. I've never wanted to get a tattoo. And every couple of weeks, I have like drawn on my thigh a disco ball to wonder if like this is this what I'm gonna get.
This is the time.
And so that's how I came to the conclusion of I'm getting rid of This Is Me Trying.
Okay.
See, but I just think the way she says you're a flashback in a film reel on the one screen in my town. Like the way it basically like that to me, I take it as like you're the like thing I cannot get away from, and it feels like everywhere I go, you're there. Like the way she says these simple ideas of like I'm doing the best I can right now, and she says it in the most poetic way. Where she's like, "You just are following me wherever I go," but it's so good.
It is good. I'm not saying it's bad.
It's just his
That's
band.
the difference. This is my second favorite album of hers. I literally like every song.
It's
And I
great.
like it as an album. I need it all.
See,
Okay.
but like I couldn't part with this song. Like I would part with any other song before I would part with this one. So I think that's where we're at.
End of the grade.
Lexi, what's your stand?
Okay, well, my stan, I feel like mine, it's not a cop out. It's
Are you
not.
gonna say-
But-
Wait, let's say it at the same time.
Okay. Okay, ready? 3,
3, 2, 1. Epiphany.
the 1. No.
Oh,
I'm glad I didn't get involved because I had no idea.
Oh.
I was on a completely like I didn't get how
the
you-
one.
The 1. So the 1 is like one of my favorite songs on this album. And it's one that at the very beginning I didn't like I liked, but I didn't come to. But I feel like the more I listen to the album, I'm like, I always want to hear the 1 when I click play. Like it's so good. And I actually banned
wait.
Epiphany.
Wait. I'm so sorry. I thought you were saying you're banned.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm not banning the
And
1.
I was like, you're banning the 1.
Oh,
Okay. That's why I said
Okay.
Epiphany.
okay.
Okay,
I
thought this
guys.
was-
Epiphany.
You're banning Epiphany?
I banned Epiphany.
Okay,
It's
okay,
like a little too close to home right now. And I'm like,
okay.
I don't think I want to hear it.
Okay, can we talk about how on the 1 where she says, "In my defense, I have none for digging up the grave another time." Does anyone else just do that constantly? Where you're like, I know I'm not supposed to be in a relationship with this perfect person. I'm confident, but like I'm just gonna dig up the grave and like re-hurt myself and convince myself that maybe you could have been the one. Like it's
Even the fact that like she opened this
Yes.
song with like, I'm doing good, I'm on some new shit. But then she goes and she's like, so why am I digging up graves? Like, why am I digging up old things when I'm doing good? I'm like, why are you, Taylor? Like,
Yeah.
it's so good.
This song is so good, and it's so like poppy and bubbly that you don't realize. The other day I was playing it on piano because I'm
Cute.
quirky that way, and I was really thinking about the lyrics and just was crying because it's so sad.
It's
So sad, but so sweet too.
yeah.
and it's a concept that I feel like people don't like tackle in that way where
Yes.
it is like she's fine, like she knows she's good, but like sometimes you go back and like, but what would it have been like? It would have been fun if you would have been. It's so good.
It's
I know.
yeah.
Now
so-
you're like making me feel like I need to go drive in my car and listen to it on repeat.
exactly. Like that's
so
why
good.
it's like the stand for me.
Thank God you didn't ban it. I was so confused,
Oh
Lexi.
my
I was like,
goodness.
you're copping out
I
by
have
banning the 1?
I have taste. I'm
That
checking out. I did ban Epiphany.
Okay, that's what that tracks.
That's my one. But so
I'm glad that there was a mix-up because I couldn't
Wait.
figure out why Sam knew. Like you guys were on a different wavelength than me, and it makes sense that I was just in the middle of 2 different conversations.
Now, so Jacqueline still has her ban, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
What-
can
my
guess
ban
that
is
one.
Hoax.
Oh my God, I wouldn't have guessed it again.
What
I
were you
would've
gonna
said
guess?
Mad Woman.
Oh.
Yes, but here's the issue with that. Like, I personally do not like it at all, but it tackles a concept that even if it's not from the narrative that I like that at least it's being talked about in the music industry and it brings it up into pop culture again. And so I suffer with it. I'm not personally going to listen to it, but I am grateful that
You're
she brings
banning
this up
Hoax.
as a concept.
Okay.
It's like I don't like The Man on her other album, but I'm grateful she brings it up as a concept, and I'm glad that she's gonna keep pushing these like important topics into pop culture. So that is personally why I would ban that. Hoax to me,
I feel like
I just feel like it adds no real value to the album. Like you guys, it just feel like I'm like, we could have ended a song earlier and it would have been chill.
I feel like it shouldn't have been the last song on the album.
Mm-hmm. It's the way I feel about Clean.
You don't.
I don't like. No, I don't fuck with Clean.
I feel
I'm
like a lot of
Clean
her last
anti.
songs I could do without.
You can't.
And Hoax to me is one where I'm like, I almost pretend the album ends the song earlier. I could do without
Jacqueline and I are on a similar wave. We're on the Clean wavelength where like most people love Clean.
Yes.
It can go. Hoax. Now, I kind of get Hoax.
Okay.
And once I got it, Evermore came out, and I was really glad because I was nervous that Hoax was becoming one of my favorite songs because I was like, I was like, this is a bad time for my mental health.
One of your favorite songs just because you wanted a new Taylor Swift song and you
kind of,
so
but also maybe. But I also wait. I don't know.
Are you gonna say there's one line that we deeply discussed?
There's a couple lines. Well, first off, I love that. I almost did make this my stand. I will full transparency because I don't know why, but the line, "Your faithless love's the only hoax I believe in," is like, to me, that's like for the hope of it all, but really deep.
Mm.
And then yes, the line that there's just the bridge is a little too real sometimes.
Okay.
We have sent each other that, I left a part of me back in New York, back and forth a few times, I acknowledge I could do without it though. I don't feel it. I don't feel like it adds real value. I don't feel like it tackles a new narrative. I feel like
that's a good choice.
Would be a great ending.
Okay.
Which I'm shocked Sam did not discuss because I was under the impression that Sam thought this was going to be his first dance song. So to me, if I had a first dance song, I would personally stand it.
I forgot about Peace. My problem is the beginning, the whole album is so stacked that by the time I get to Peace, I'm like, oh yeah, this one's so good. But that's like, I don't know. I told you, I had to just go with like, if I sat down here and you were like, pick them, that's what I did.
I think
yeah,
this shows like she somehow tackles so many different perspectives and narratives and people who think completely differently still feel so seen in the album, which I think is like an incredible thing. Like, I think like, I don't know. I just think this album for me was the one that tackled so many different emotions so well. Like, it didn't come with one like overarching theme.
But then also that it all came together and like doesn't feel, because the girl has a way of making a scattered album, which I love, but like also like can be very like schizophrenic feeling. Right. Whereas this one, it did so much, but all still felt like the same thing.
But not like I felt like to me Evermore blended. This one doesn't blend in if it's the same theme. Like it does, but it doesn't at all blend. Each to me stands alone in the way that Evermore blended.
I agree. Folklore is superior to Evermore.
It's the blueprint.
It is.